Good evening. Here we are at Sunday night time. It's our Old Testament studies in Psalm number 60. Psalm number 60 tonight. 12 verses of it. It's got a long heading on it. From what I've read, the background of the heading is a list of David's enemies. And David's in a time that the heading says is a prayer for help against the foe. We can all relate to that, can't we? David's in a time where he's been seeing a series of defeats. His army's been getting whipped, and I don't know, maybe it was some of those times we read back in Samuel and 1st and 2nd Samuel. Remember when the Israelites got to where they would take the priest carrying the Ark of the Covenant into battle, and they were having great victories because God was leading them, but after a while it became like it was just like a good luck charm to them or something. They'd forgot it was actually the symbol of God's presence with his people. And they were treating it like that, so God let them start getting whipped, and people were dying, and the ark got captured and all that. But that's sort of where David's at here, and he's thinking right now. He said, God, you've cast us off. You ever feel like God's just cast you off? Oh, God, thou hast cast us off. Thou hast scattered us. Thou hast been displeased. And I read that today. I think of my former denomination. I think, yeah, God's got displeased with them, and the Methodists have scattered. Now he's scattered them, but God's doing a new thing, and I'm praying for this new Methodist denomination, and for those that were bold enough to step out and actually become just whatever they became, full gospel or whatever. They knew they had to get out of that cult that was preaching anti-biblical stuff, and we're starting to see the demise of it. More and more I've seen those churches for sale, and other people have bought them and turned them into schools and things, and that's a good thing. If you're not going to stand for the Word of God, then I hope God scatters you. Oh God, thou hast cast us off. Thou hast scattered us. You've been displeased. But David says, turn to us again. And usually if you feel like God's to cast you off, it may be that instead of God needs to turn to you, you need to turn back toward God. But David says, you've made the earth to tremble. You've broken it. Heal the breaches thereof, for it shakes. You've showed thy people hard things. Send us to the school of hard knocks. David said, my army's in trouble. Thou hast made us to drink the wine of astonishment. Can't believe that's happening to us. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth. And I'd say, yeah, God's given us a banner to hold up to those that fear him. God's gave us the book, the Bible, and we're to hold it up, those that fear God, that it may be displayed because it's the truth, that thy beloved may be delivered. And aren't you thankful for the Bible? I'm thankful for the cross and Christ, but it's the Bible that tells us the means of deliverance, isn't it? That your beloved may be delivered, verse 5. Save with your right hand and hear me. Jesus is the one who sat down on his right hand. He is the right hand of God, ain't he? God has spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. When we open this book up, God's speaking from his throne of holiness, and he says, that makes me happy. I'll rejoice. And what's God said? He said, I will divide Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead's mine, Manasseh's mine, Ephraim's the strength of my hand, Judah's my law. God's still got his people, but he says, I'm going to defeat their enemies. Moab's my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me. And he says, who will bring me into the strong city? How are we going to get this great victory? How are we going to do it? Who will lead me into it? Where are we going to get this victory at? And David says, wilt not thou, O God, our victory's in Jesus, ain't it? Well, not thou, O God, if we turn back to if we'll draw nigh to him, God says, I'll draw nigh to you. Will not thou, O God, which could cast us off, and thou, O God, did not go out with our enemies? Didst not thou go out with our armies? Give us help from trouble. For vain is the help of man. We need God's help. But through God we'll do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. There's good news in that we can't conquer our enemies ourselves, that God can do it for us by grace through faith. The Bible says it's not by your might, not by your strength, but it's by God's Spirit that we get the victories. And that's good news. We don't have to depend on ourselves. The last enemy to be conquered is death. We can't conquer death, but Jesus conquered death on Calvary's cross if we trust in the gospel story. We'll see you next time.